The right people at the right time. The development of television in North Florida depended on people, but only a few of these are described here. There were no doubt others of importance, though their contributions are mostly lost to history. Yet the following are some of the most noteworthy, since together they provided the business acumen, the monetary resources, the creativity, and the technical knowledge that was absolutely necessary to make North Florida and southern Georgia television possible. Mr. John H. Phipps. First and foremost was Mr. John H. Ben Phipps, who purchased Tallahassee radio station WTAL before the United States entered World War II. Mr. Phipps was a transplanted Yankee who became a local plantation owner and really settled into the community. He also formed John H. Phipps Broadcasting. Mr. Phipps took a personal interest to the radio station, and Bill Ragsdale got to know Mr. Phipps as soon as Ragsdale started working at the WTAL transmitter, where Mr. Phipps would sometimes visit. When WCTV, Tallahassee's first commercial TV station, was complete, Mr. Phipps, the owner, would regularly visit its studios and control room. There was no doubt that Mr. Phipps had the business savvy and important contacts to make a project like WCTV happen. Hoyt Wimpy. Hoyt Wimpy, a Thomasville, Georgia radio station owner, was key to how television first came to North Florida. There was actually no VHF television license available for Tallahassee. VHF encompasses channels 2 through 13. UHF was not considered viable at that time, and Florida State University had procured the only remaining VHF license for its future educational TV station. The Federal Communications Commission, or FCC, limited the access to licenses so that the possibility of interference among stations would be minimized. Hoyt Wimpy convinced the FCC to allow Thomasville to share a VHF license with Tallahassee, and then build a transmitter about halfway between the two towns. In addition, Wimpy persuaded the FCC to grant John H. Phipps Broadcasting the license. Hence, without Thomasville and Hoyt Wimpy, commercial television would not have arisen so soon in North Florida. Bill Ragsdale. Bill Ragsdale was born in Pennsylvania, but moved to St. Petersburg, Florida, where he eventually started raising a family. A professional musician at 13, he came to Tallahassee with his wife and 3 kids to pursue a degree in music. However, he quickly became a radio and later television engineer, earned a first-class radio telephone license from the FCC. He began working at WTAL, first as a transmitter engineer and then as a studio announcer and musical performer. In those days, everyone who passed the difficult exam for the first-class radio telephone license already knew a lot about television's technical details. Bill Ragsdale, my dad, took me out to the radio station many times, but he also took me to the studios in the old Cherokee Hotel. Later, he had me visit the WCTV studios before and after the station commenced operations, and also the transmitter. I also saw and worked at the WFSU-TV studio, where he was chief engineer and one of the builders, and I visited WFSU-FM, where he was chief engineer. Bill Snowden. While working at WTAL, Bill Ragsdale got to know Bill Snowden, an engineer and sometimes announcer at the station. I have in my audio collection a WTAL radio spot that my dad and Bill Snowden did together. They advertised the FSU Flying High Circus. Therefore, when Mr. Phipps decided to start a television station, WCTV, it probably wasn't surprising that Bill Ragsdale and Bill Snowden were 2 of the engineers picked to build it. Bill Snowden was designated as the chief engineer. Robert Bob Kohler. Another important person in the history of North Florida television is Robert Bob Kohler. In his 2011 obituary, it was stated that he worked at WTAL as an engineer and disc jockey. Bill Ragsdale no doubt got to know Bob Kohler early on. The obituary further states that Kohler 1. Designed and built WFSU-FM and WFSU-AM. 2. Designed and built with Bill Ragsdale, Willie the Weatherman, WFSU-TV. However, it appears that Bob Kohler was most important to the development of educational television in Tallahassee. He was apparently not directly involved in building WCTV. Kohler, an accomplished engineer with 2 degrees in physics, was known for his creative solutions and his ability to make pieces of equipment from found and repurposed materials. He also fixed music boxes for Ruby Diamond, one of Tallahassee's more colorful characters. Hence, WTAL brought together Mr. Phipps, Bill Snowden, and Bill Ragsdale. In addition, Mr. Phipps had the capital to bring the project to a successful conclusion. Yet there was a lot of work ahead before that first official sign-on of WCTV on September 15, 1955.